Hi, I'm Andre Perry, fellow at the Brookings Institution in the Metropolitan Policy Program, and author of the book, Know Your Price, Valuing Black Lives and Property in America's Black Cities. Man, I am excited to talk about Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris, as she has been selected to run alongside Joe Biden for their bid for the presidential ticket this upcoming election. This is historic. I'm excited. Black women are doing it up educationally, professionally, and politically. It's time they get represented because in terms of pay, in terms of services, they are not getting their just due. Black women are powerful, but they are not protected. They will get that protection when more black women take the helm of the highest office in the land, including the presidency. And so I'm happy for this moment, and we should all be excited. This is a moment for a democracy, not just for Kamala Harris, but for democracy as a whole. So I'm excited. You should be. Let's get it.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about Kamala Harris as the vice presidential pick of Joe Biden. It's an excellent pick. It is firmly in what I have written about as the partnership mode. The partnership mode of picking the vice president is something that's pretty unique to the 21st century, where we have stopped picking vice presidents who will balance the ticket and started picking vice presidents who will be partners to the president in doing what is a very, very complicated job. Harris doesn't need to bring the state of California with her. She is not a balanced choice, although she does have an element of balancing in that the new Democratic Party is heavily a party of women and minorities, and in that respect, there is some balance here. But most importantly, obviously, Joe Biden thinks she's got the background to help him out in the job of president, and clearly she's going to be a very useful partner in all sorts of ways as he goes down the road. Let's remember that Joe Biden himself was a vice president. He was chosen not to balance the ticket, but to be a partner to Barack Obama. He turned out to be a pretty good partner to Barack Obama. And I think that in his own mind, in his own choice, he was going to pick a partner who would help him in what is a very difficult job. And of course, of many of the recent presidents we've had, he's probably knows better than anybody else how difficult a job it is. So it's a good pick, it's a solid pick, and we wish them well. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nicole Turner-Lee from the Brookings Institution. So Vice President Biden has finally closed the chapter on his VP pick. And what's so exciting is that he has chosen a woman of color, a black woman, who has already demonstrated her ability to lead based on her previous presidential bid. And even more so, he's given a sign of his confidence in a black woman's ability to become the next commander-in-chief in the event that he cannot lead. So what does a Biden-Harris ticket look like? I think, in addition to the economy, on the minds of many is this whole idea of how we're going to get towards racial reconciliation and healing. I think Harris has been attuned to issues related to racial equity that will make her a perfect candidate for bringing the country closer together around these issues. It's no secret that the circumstances from the pandemic, in addition to the public killing of George Floyd, have placed us into disarray. And secondly, we would all be fooling ourselves if we think that this election is going to be over when we cast our ballot. The current condemnation of mail-in voting by the current administration will suggest that Biden needs a strong advocate of voting rights and election integrity, of which I think Harris can play that role. So going forward, this is just the beginning, and we will see at Brookings how this all pans out.
Hey, this is Tamara Kaufman-Wittes. I'm a senior fellow in the Foreign Policy Program at Brookings. Senator Kamala Harris is a bold choice to be Joe Biden's running mate. She's a strong choice. She's demonstrated that she understands and can manage the rigors of a national campaign, having competed against Biden for the Democratic Party nomination. But more importantly, she's served on the Homeland Security Committee and on the Intelligence Committee in the Senate. And both of these positions give her really important background and experience that Biden will need if he's going to restore Americans' faith in the impartiality of the Homeland Security Department and other law enforcement and intelligence agencies where there's been some evidence that President Trump has tried to politicize analysis and output. So I think it's an important choice. I think it's also a choice that shows that Vice President Biden doesn't hold a grudge against a former opponent, but understands that working together, they can present a stronger ticket to the American people. Thanks a lot.
Dr. Rayshawn Rhea, David Rubenstein Fellow here at the Brookings Institution. Joe Biden has selected Senator Kamala Harris from California as his running mate. As you see from my shirt, Joe Biden has decided to cite Black women, and based on a letter that was sent to him signed by over 100 Black men, they consent to that as well. Kamala Harris is extremely charismatic. She is also the type of person at the age that she is that can lead the Democratic Party into the future if Joe Biden decides to be a one-term president. Because of her time on the campaign trail while she was running for president, has the ability to go into various places across the United States and talk to people and connect with people, particularly suburban voters. So selecting Kamala Harris also speaks to the most stable voting bloc for Democrats, and that is Black women. So Black women will be mobilized to get out to vote. I also think that this will mobilize more Black men to get out to vote.
Joe Biden's choice of Kamala Harris as his vice presidential running mate is historic for a million reasons, but I think it's important to take a step back and remember that Kamala Harris, regardless of her gender, regardless of her race or ethnicity, would have made an amazing vice presidential pick under any circumstances. She's an accomplished public servant, a very talented politician. She showed herself during the Democratic presidential primary campaign to be a fierce competitor and someone who Vice President Biden, as a presidential nominee, can go to when he needs an attack to be done, and it to be done in an extraordinarily effective way. Kamala Harris brings a ton to this ticket and will serve Joe Biden quite well moving forward.